If you were brought up to believe you must always put everyone else first, that don't be selfish idea, then chances are you've ended up with some codependent habits. Whether you had a neglectful childhood or even a decent upbringing, you might find yourself constantly putting others' needs ahead of your own. This often leads to people-pleasing behaviours and perfectionism, and even a sense of losing touch with your own needs. You never really got the chance to figure out what you wanted, and all those repressed emotions can later turn into anger, addiction, OCD behaviours, or even depression. If you're someone or a parent who still thinks that always putting others first is the moral way to be, or that it will stop your child from growing up selfish, it might be time to have a rethink. There's a big difference between being selfish or spoiled and being able to support others while also keeping healthy boundaries for yourself. This idea that putting yourself first is automatically selfish creates this kind of toxic selflessness that drains you completely. It makes you think your own needs are less important than everyone else's, and that simply isn't true. In practice, this selflessness can lead to one-sided relationships where you give everything and always give more than you receive. You might find yourself in or accepting, or even worse, normalizing abusive relationships, or sacrificing your own physical and mental health for the sake of your family, or brushing abuse under the carpet and even blaming yourself for it. Over time, you may come to believe you don't deserve that promotion or that treat or even a bit of rest because you're so used to putting others first. That simple lesson that you must always put others before yourself, or that prioritizing yourself is selfish, can have really damaging consequences if it becomes part of who you are. You end up being the one everyone relies on, and when you try to stand up for yourself, you're often cast as the villain. This isn't about thinking the world revolves around you. It's about making sure you look after yourself just as well as you look after others. It should never be a one-sided approach. Imagine if everyone realised they're just as important as everyone else, deserving of self-care and respect. We'd probably see more people with genuine self-respect and genuine self-compassion, leading to healthier, more balanced relationships with those around us. So next time you find yourself admonishing your child for thinking of themselves before others, or doing things for others that seem to benefit them but burn you out, just reflect on the driver of that behaviour. Is it because your core belief is that prioritising yourself is selfish and that you don't deserve the attention you give others? It's a tough habit to crack, but the more you check in with yourself when your compulsion to please and appease is triggered, the more self-aware you will become, and that's the first step to making changes to prevent mental and physical exhaustion, or worse, wider mental health challenges. And one of the things that I find really quite sad is that there are so many people out there who don't feel like they deserve to seek help for themselves as well. And I think a lot of this comes down to like that sort of like really uncomfortable feeling of doing something for yourself. It's almost like it's so entrenched in us that, you know, it's selfish to do so, to take time to think about your own mental well-being and your own space and things, that people just find it really difficult to even contemplate thinking about themselves and seeking help for themselves.